Open up this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals on Thursday, May 25th. Welcome everybody who's here. I am going to sit up here and try to take Mr. Lee's spot, who is no longer with us, and he's going to be sorely missed. Anyway, we'll get started. Did everybody get their minutes and have a chance to read them and look over them? Any additions, corrections?
Make a motion to approve them.
Motion's been made to approve them. All in favor? Aye. All right, they're approved. We've got two public hearings. The first is Morris and Peggy Shelton, and they're looking for a variance to construct a 60 by 52 garage storage building, 30-foot by 54-4 guest house, along with a drain field to accommodate the two structures within the 35-foot zoning setback of a private right-of-way for corner lot 5-7-2. I'll open the public hearing. Would you all like to speak? Well, first of all, excuse me, 1 minute. Let me ask Olivia if she's got anything to ask. I told you it's the first time, she's jumping around here. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Thank you. So originally, when the request was made, it was for a variance from the 50-foot zoning setback and the private right-of-way, but it's actually a corner lot, which Charlie pointed out, so it's 35. So they're looking for a variance from the 35-foot setback to accommodate two structures. The owners request a 25-foot setback distance from the section of private right-of-way leading to the property and adjacent to one other landowner, and the elimination of the setback variance to a private right-of-way that no longer touches any other landowner, other than the landowner requesting the variance. The variance is requested in order to construct two buildings, a garage storage building and a guest house, and the drain field that would support those structures. This variance is needed to meet or exceed the distance requirements regarding wells, drain field structures, and property lines. Mr. and Mrs. Vincent, adjacent property owners, have submitted a public comment of support stating that they have no objection to granting the requested variance and that granting their request for variance will not adversely affect their property.
Thank you. Any questions before we get started then? Any questions? No questions? All right, then I guess we'll open it up to a public hearing. Now, would you like to say anything? If you would, if you'd come up to the podium, please, and state your name and...
Okay, it's Morris Shelton. If anybody's online, you need to speak into the microphone, so that's how they can hear.
Okay, all right, Morris Shelton, my wife's Peggy. You pretty much nailed it. The other person that, you know, this might have some bearing on is Eileen Boucher, who we purchased this strip of land. Y'all have got the drawing there that that shows exactly what we got. And I just have one copy of that. I can pass that around. Opens it up, makes it a little bit bigger for anybody who might be like me. The eyes aren't as good as they used to
They
be.
do have a copy there.
This just shows the strip of land that they purchased from. This strip right here is what they merged their parcels. They purchased it from this boundary. Right. Their parcel. Now their parcel actually
Okay.
encompasses the right of way. And because there's a right of way here, it's a corner lot, as Charlie pointed out. So the variance they're seeking is actually 35-foot setback.
On that side, not this side.
Not the front side, that's this side. Charlie, you already know all about it.
Yes, I was sitting out here looking at all you folks up here. I said, this gentleman looks familiar. And then I kept looking over at you, and then I heard Charlie. So you're the guy, as you are well aware, that surveyed the original lot
I did.
for us back in 95, I think it was. So we bought that piece of land.
21.
Pardon me?
Oh, 2002.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
maybe
what-
you did this, okay,
That's my plat.
okay. I'm not sure who who did the original one, but,
Well, the original subdivision was done by Mr. Davis. And
Right.
he cut up all the lots
right,
and that was back in 1980. And then since then, you know, all the lots have changed hands several times.
yeah,
But what I was telling Olivia is, you know, you have that strip in front of your property, the 30-foot, that extends down from the Vincent property.
Right.
In front of your property. It's kind of like a little thorn in your side.
oh, not little,
And anyway,
Understated.
There's a way to get rid of that,
I'm all ears,
okay? If you can find Mr. Davis, or if he's not here anymore, his heirs,
right,
and get a quitclaim deed for that part of the road, then it would solve your problem as far as the distance from the property line. Well, you would have, it wouldn't even be fronting the property line anymore.
Right.
That would go away.
okay, so
If you could get them to,
agree to it,
pardon?
if I could get them to agree to it,
Right.
okay,
See, what happens is, we have a lot of subdivisions in this county, and that don't have state roads in them. They have
Right.
Private roads.
right,
Currituck by the Bay, all these private roads over there. And they get subdivided off, and people buy all the lots. Well, what happened to the roads? So I called Beth Cornwell to ask her, are you taxing these roads? She said, no, we don't tax roads. So as far as she's concerned, the Commissioner of Revenue, they belong to whoever owned them back when the subdivision was created. And if you could find an heir to Harry Davis and get a quitclaim deed from him, or you could get a general warranty if he's the only heir, and go from there. Then you would get rid of that strip.
okay.
Well,
That's the long-term fix.
Yeah, that's the long-term
Yeah,
fix, right,
Right.
yeah.
if, you know, the heirs are there and are willing to do it. I think a more short-term fix to accomplish what they want to do is this variance request.
Yeah, and we sort of kind of tried to go down that road to figure out who owns this land, you know, these right-of-ways. And we never could really get a good answer to that. And so that's when we decided to go this other route, which originally, we met with Bill Farrell, and he came out to the property and walked it with us and explained to him what we were trying to do. And we got, he granted a 25-foot off of where the Vincent's property, the right-of-way sort of, that section of the right-of-way sort of ends, if you know what I mean. And so we thought everything was great. Well, then, in my infinite wisdom, I'm thinking, wait a minute, we're thinking about where it ends there, but the right-of-way continues to go. So I guess he's saying 25 foot, I still got to be 25 foot off of that right-of-way that's surrounded by the Sheltons, okay? So that's when we went back up there, and then that's when this, you know, came into play. So that's why we're kind of standing here now, because we certainly didn't want to possibly go the distance with starting a structure, and then somebody comes along and says, well, whoa, wait a minute, you know, I want to pull that one down. So anyway, if I'm going to pass this around, and this is, that's a site plan that was done prior to us acquiring this piece of property from Eileen Boucher. And it shows where the gravel driveway is
Right.
and the right-of-way. And the gravel driveway is all the way over on the other side of that 30-foot. So we got a row of trees and grass and all that we cut that's in that, that's, you know, literally in the right-of-way, and that's why we're trying to get at the edge of the right-of-way, you know, and start the structure so that we can get the drain field back behind that barn, and lines can go to it from the cottage thing and the barn.
So you can't use the drain field that's shown on the site plan?
I could, but it would be complicated, and I don't want to eat that up because it gives the option of somebody down the road, whether it's my heirs or somebody that comes in to buy it, the option to put a guest house or something right up against their house because it's approved for it. So I don't want to use that. And I don't know really, I don't know whether we could really get the sewage over there or not, because we'd have to go, I guess you could pump sewage anywhere you want to if you got enough money, but, you know, we'd have to go across the drain field to get to the tanks, because our sewage is pumped from the house to that drain field.
Well, this latest drawing here,
Yes, sir.
it shows the drain field right behind the big building.
Right.
Has that been?
No.
Has that been approved or submitted to the health department?
It has not, no. Now, I had a, what do you call the folks that come out and?
Soil scientist?
Yeah, soil scientists come out and dig some holes and prove the ground and look at that plan and determine whether or not he felt there would be any issue to, you know, support two-bedroom facility. So,
Okay.
and he said it did not, yeah. It was not.
So this drain field is basically for the guest cottage, not for the big building, even though it's.
No, no, it's for both.
Is it?
It's for both. Because the big building is gonna have a bathroom and a, you know, sink, you know, like a little kitchenette kind of a deal like that, you know, just basically, I guess it was what is so popular now, everybody calls it a man cave, or we'll say man cave / she shed, right? So that's what that is, so.
I gotta ask you for some clarification. Can you
Oh, yeah.
come over here? This looks like the right of way is coming in, and you're actually proposing to build over here?
Right.
Okay, so what are these proposed buildings that you're showing here?
Okay, that's there. That's a, you know, metal building.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's no longer proposed, that's there?
That's there, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like I say, this was done back when we were trying to, I don't know if this, I guess the house was there. I honestly can't remember, you know. That's not there,
Okay.
okay? That is there. The shed's gone.
So this is now existing?
Yes,
not
sir.
proposed?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes, it was scratched out.
we're still talking about building here?
Right.
And where is this corner, yes, hose, drain fields, or something about the drain fields? That big 55 by 60? Yes.
No, I think the
That's this
green
building right here.
is proposed.
Yeah, those are already, these are
That's where-
existing.
Yeah, that's there.
They're not proposed.
Yeah, these are here.
What's,
What they've had the soil scientists come out and do is to try to locate a
No,
drain
his-
field
his
over
house
here
is over here.
that would service these proposed buildings, correct?
Right, that's right.
You can't use the man cave.
Really?
Well,
So,
I honestly don't know that. If you look at this
Yeah.
drawing,
What I was
the
telling him
two
is he
tanks
could
are
get
all
rid
the
of
way
this-
over
this
here,
30-foot road here. If
okay?
he finds Harry Davis.
And
to do
so,
this
If
subdivision.
it's already serving two tanks, I don't think he'd be able to add anything else to it.
Water and sewer to it, because it's a big building. I guess the question that's gonna come up, and when we get down to it, is where's the hardship? If you've got the drain field, and you've got the tanks, and we don't know if we
doesn't know if he could tie the proposed building into the existing drainage field. No, you still gonna need a variance because he's within the 35 feet of this line of the right of way. See, this is a 30-foot right of way that comes in, that terminates right here, which is shown right there. Right. So he's gonna be within the 35-foot setback from this right of way, from this line.
10 foot.
Yeah, so, but, as highlighted in yellow, this part of the right of way, really, his property encircles that right of way. And what Charlie was saying was, if he could find the heirs to the original subdivider of this property who created the subdivision, and get a quit claim deed for this highlighted yellow portion of the right of way, then this portion of the right of way would go away. The terminus would move from here to here, and then the right of way would no longer be on his property, and we wouldn't be in front of you seeking variance for that,
Yeah.
for this.
That's right.
So, but, as we said, that quitclaim deed is a long-term solution, if you can find the heirs. So the short-term solution to help them achieve what they want to do is this variance request. But the right-of-way serves, this part of the right-of-way serves no other parcel except for the houses. Did I explain that right, Charles?
Yeah.
So I guess to respond back to that, the hardship is getting the buildings in there where I want them, or we want them, instead of the drain field, because the drain field thing's gonna work. You know, I mean, that's not a question there, because we've had somebody look at it, but, you know, we don't wanna shove those buildings. Number one, it creates a whole lot more, gravel area that we've got to create and maintain in front of the barn. And secondly, it shoves it further back towards Eileen's property as well. So from a visual standpoint, her driveway, you can see where her driveway, see where that driveway is coming in up there next to the graveyard? On the little drawing that you've got? Oh, where's the big one? Y'all still got the big one?
Yeah, they've got the big one.
Yeah.
So the little drawing, this one, shows both buildings right on the 30-foot line.
Yes,
So you'd be asking for a variance of zero.
zero,
Distance.
Yep.
If we approve that.
right. That's what we're asking for.
But as we stated, that portion of that old right-of-way is encircled by only their property.
Right. that's
No,
right.
no other properties
Right.
are involved.
Nobody else uses it.
Nobody
except
else
them.
uses it. So, I think the hardship is that we've got I don't know the exact distance of that, but we've got that small portion of right-of-way to its terminus, which really serves no other person but these applicants. But because it is a deeded right-of-way, we have to observe setbacks from it.
Right.
So, that's why we're here.
So the ordinance says it needs to be 35 feet back from that line.
That's correct.
And we're gonna look at him having zero back from it.
From that
The
line,
building's 35 feet in a westerly direction.
yes.
Now, the distance from the Vincent's, where that right-of-way section sort of stops right there, we'd ask for 25, and we, you know, that, I think y'all are saying 35 now is what it is, because the airline is at the end. But that would be tied to that section that we need to get rid of, so to speak. So I guess you'd revert back to the 50 up at Ken's, is that right? We're asking for 25 there,
Right.
off of the end of his right-of-way.
Yeah, the first drawing showed 25 foot of
Yeah.
front yard.
Yeah. and it, we
By showing
probably
the
can get by with less than that there, but the part, the right-of-way that needs to go away, that's the critical thing, where we need to get that down to zero, to squeeze everything in there, drain field and all.
On the fact that the right-of-way is essentially ensnared by your property. There we go. Based on the fact that your property, that right-of-way is essentially ensnared by your property, and the fact that your neighbor has no issue with this, I make a motion to approve as requested.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Was it anybody online, Glenn, that wanted to speak? Okay.
Sorry about that. Told you the first time. All right,
We
it's been
done?
approved, yes, sir.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Here you go, sir.
We're gonna celebrate this evening. Legally.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, now. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, so do we got the two big drawings?
You got everything? Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome to
You're
stay if
welcome
you
to
like.
stay.
I mean, that's up to you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, it's my understanding that the next one, which is a request by Michael Kay and Cynthia Rogers for a variance, it's on a boat house structure type thing, is going to be brought up, but it needs to be continued till next session because they couldn't be here.
That's correct. The advertisement was in the paper, so we need to go ahead and open the public hearing. I don't know if anyone is online that would like to speak to this issue. You know, we've had some turnover in staff, and I don't know that, anyway, the applicants could not be here today unavoidably. So they asked if we could extend this to the BZA's next meeting, and I think that's a reasonable request, so.
That was my fault, and not theirs, just for the record.
Well, since there's nobody online and there's nobody here, I guess we can go ahead and make a motion. Do we need to make a motion? to
Yes,
continue?
make a motion to continue this matter to the
Then I-
BZA's next meeting.
I'll make a motion that we continue this to the next meeting.
Second.
BZA meeting. And all in favor? I guess it's passed then. We'll go to the next
Are
meeting.
are these people aware that there's never ever been one granted?
Well, you know,
Betty Barrett's gonna turn over in her grave.
they are aware, and just for everyone's knowledge, you know, this boathouse ban, private boathouse ban, has been in place in Lancaster County since, since 1988. It has withstood a Supreme Court of Virginia challenge. It's withstood Circuit Court, Lancaster County Circuit Court challenges. There's really only two ways someone could build a new boathouse within the jurisdiction of Lancaster County. This doesn't apply to if you already have one. If you already have one, you can rebuild what you have in the same footprint. But to build a new one, it's only two ways that it could happen. Number one would be for the Board of Supervisors to enact new legislation, change the code to allow them. Every Board of Supervisors since 2003 has declined to do so. The current Board of Supervisors, as recently as April of last year, 2022, had a presentation from a similar provider of the pictures that you saw here, and they declined to want to change the current law. So that's one way, is that the Board of Supervisors enacted new law. The current board hasn't shown a desire to do so. The second way would be for the BZA to grant a variance to existing law. The BZA has been presented cases in the past requesting a variance. All prior BZAs have denied all of those requests. Of course, you know, citizens have the right to bring forth variance requests. They've chosen to do so. So that's why it's in front of you.
All right, well, I guess we'll just wait and hear it next month or whenever we
Yeah.
have another one.
Did anybody go down and look at that boat, that deal? Did everybody go look at that? I went and looked at it yesterday. It's clean looking, and it's a shame the guy spent the money he spent trying to build it and then ask for mercy,
Yeah.
because it's clean, but I can't see any way in the world, the way that all this reads, that it's legal.
Open up a can of worms if we change it, so anyway.
Only way it could be legal to put a boat cover on the boat itself, it looks like to me, on the lift. Because it says higher than the boat, and it's definitely higher than the boat.
All right.
But it's clean, it looks nice.
We even had floating boathouses one time.
We did,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Nina's husband did it.
I do remember that, yes, sir.
so then they put floating in it.
It might be good if you all could decide on a future meeting date while you're all here. And let me also say that the Board of Supervisors will be approving the FY '24 budget tonight. And included within that budget is an increase in pay for all of the boards and commission members. So you all have historically made $100 per meeting. As of July 1, it'll be $200 per meeting. That has not been changed since the year 2000. So after 23 years, I think an increase in pay is long overdue. So just throw that out there for you. That takes effect July 1. I don't know if that has any bearing on when you all schedule your next meeting or not. So, but just want to give you all the information.
Do we have anything in the pipeline coming up that you, or think may be coming up?
Possibly, yes. And then, of course, this boathouse issue. And they've asked if they could go June 29th, so I don't know if that date works for you all.
That's June 29th.
Yes.
Which is before July 1st, so I'm just throwing that out there.
So we could schedule it for another date. I just need to run that date by them as well.
All right, I mean, I don't have any heartache with it, it's whatever wants to work, but if we've got something else coming up, I think it would be smarter just to wait and get them both at the same time. So do you want to wait and see what you've got coming up?
That's fine with me, whatever works for you all.
I mean,
I agree. I mean, let's get those two birds with one stone.
yeah, do it all at one time instead of coming back like that.
Okay.
All right, just let us know down the road.
Well, I don't want to push it too far down the road, because as the boathouse currently
Well,
sits,
yeah.
it's a violation.
Yeah,
And it needs to be resolved. Now, they are seeking this, so we're kind of, letting the violation sit until this action is complete.
I just didn't get it over with.
all right, I mean, the 29th, I think, is all right.
I mean, they said they can be.
Did somebody complain about it? Is that where we,
Yes.
Correct.
And, that's why the violation letter was written.
yeah, well, because it looks like it's been there for a while.
It's been there for probably a couple of months or so.
Oh, okay.
I just assumed meet on 29th.
29th is fine with me.
If they can be here, let's just deal with it.
Okay.
They said they would be able to
All
be
right,
here.
that's fine.
So can at least three of you make it on June 29th at 9:30?
Yeah.
What's the date?
Thursday, June 29th, 9:30.
Okay.
And I anticipate one more being added to that docket as well.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, that's fine. So June 29th, Thursday, we'll be back again,
At 9:30.
9:30. I guess the next thing we've got is a report, unless somebody wants to hear something. We don't have a whole lot to report from the planning commission. I know we're off next month.
You're off in June. Planning Commission just recently forwarded the short-term rental ordinance, as you're well aware,
That's
to
right.
the Board of Supervisors.
And now we're getting ready to do the noise.
And now the
ordinance.
Board of Supervisors has asked the Planning Commission to look into possibly amending our noise ordinance based on some complaints that have been given, so.
And
Oh, yeah, that's right, you do.
next thing we got is the elections.
Oh, thank you.
Based on how well Steve did sitting in the chair. Might have ourselves a new president. Or chairman, or whatever.
Whatever it is.
I nominate Steve as chairman.
Second.
So moved. Vote and seconded.
You want to do them all at one, can we do them all at one time?
Yeah.
Vice chairman,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Mr. Fleet, you want to stay vice chairman?
That's fine.
All right, and secretary, I'm not sure who's secretary.
David Newcomb.
Dave, your secretary, you want to stay that? Yes. So, we'll leave the board as it is, except for me being the chairman.
All right.
All in favor? Opposed? Oh. Motion's passed. Anything else?
I'm not aware of anything. I
Anybody
think
else got anything?
I think I've told you everything that I needed to tell you. Olivia is our new Director of Planning and Land Use. Bill left to become a full-time law enforcement officer with the town of Kilmarnock. Wish him the best. Olivia is doing a great job so far. She'll continue to do a great job. Her old position will be filled next Thursday, July 1st. Actually, 2 people are coming on board July 1st. And she'll be supervising those 2 folks. They will be code compliance enforcement officers, zoning and environmental codes. So,
Okay, good.
2 young people coming in with degrees. One has an environmental science degree from Virginia Tech, and then the other one has an environmental science degree from Longwood.
Sounds good. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a pretty good meeting, Steve, half hour.
Yeah, I know.